Hey everyone, and welcome to today's practice. This is Flow with Roberto, and I'm Roberto. So today's practice, we'll be doing some gentle twists and side bends to guide your spine into its natural primary curves to give you a restful night's sleep. I look forward to practicing with you today. Let's begin. Let's get started in a seated position. You can cross your legs. If you have a block that you'd like to use or a small cushion to give you a little bit more height for opening your hips, then please do so. So let's just concentrate on our breath, start to observe an unmodified breath, a natural breath. You can rest your wrists on your knees or simply in between your legs. Bring your drishti or your gaze past the point of your nose into space. Relax your eyelids and breathe in and out of your nose. Start to relax the muscles in your face. Relax your jaw, resting your tongue. And observe fresh air going in through your nostrils on the inhale and warm air exiting on the exhale. Now start to deepen the breath, bringing the breath towards the thorax, inflating your lungs just a little bit more on your inhale. And exhaling, still with your nose, warm air exiting your nostrils. And just try to keep your focus on this sequence in your breathing. So inhaling through your nose, cool air, bringing your breath, inflating your thorax, your chest, and exhaling out through your nose, warm air exiting. Another 3 in this way. Good. Now let's deepen our breath still, bringing our breath all the way to our abdomen, creating space between our obliques. So inhaling through your nose, cold air entering, inflating your chest, creating space in your core and your abdomen, and exhaling from your abdomen, out your chest, warm air out your nose. And just keep this sequence in your mind's eye for the next 3 breaths. Your breath is long and deep. Good. Next inhale, our hands in prayer in front of our chest, our thumbs in front of our sternum, uniting your palms. Just observe your palms united and the warmth of your hands in front of your chest. Good. Next, inhale, your arms extended above your head. Gaze past or towards your hands. Keep your inhale. And exhaling, flex your spine. Your hands are pointed forward and your gaze towards your belly button. Keep your exhale. Inhale, arms above your head, gaze towards your hands. And exhale, flex your spine, gaze towards your belly button. Inhale one last time. Gaze towards your hands. When you gaze towards your hands, really elongate your neck, pointing your chin towards the ceiling. And exhale. Flexing your spine, gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, come up. And exhale, arch to the right. Gently, slowly, gaze past your left shoulder. Inhale, come up. And exhale, arch to the left. Another round. Inhale, come up. And exhale to the right. Now, if you want to walk your hands a little bit further away to feel a little bit of a deeper stretch, please do so. Inhale, come up. And arch to the left. Inhale, up. Extend, unite your scapula, and exhale, twist to the right. Our left hand on the outside of our right knee and our right hand behind our spine. When we're twisting, we want to sort of pay attention to our alignment, right? So the alignment of our hips are towards the front, right? So try to keep that right hip aligned with your left, okay? Keep it from twisting to the right. You want to keep it aligned with the front, and your shoulders are perpendicular to your hips. And unwind, inhale, and exhale, twist to the left. Again, align your hips, shoulders perpendicular, as much as possible. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, one more round. Twist to the right. Go a little bit deeper if you'd like. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, twist to the left. And neutral spine. Inhale. And exhale, Majjadiyasana. Come on to all fours. Our knees are hips width distance. Our hands are underneath our shoulders, wrists underneath your shoulders. We're going to do some cat-cow. So inhaling, open your chest, extend your spine, open your hips, push with your chin, gaze towards your forehead, keep your inhale, and exhaling all the way out through your nose, your gaze towards your belly button, push with your hands, open your scapula, inhale up, and exhale. Flexing your spine, your gaze towards your belly button. One last round. Inhale. Extend your spine. exhale. Next, inhale, neutral spine. And we're just going to create some vortexes with our hips. Try to isolate the movement in your hips and keep your shoulders still, just to kind of relax the muscles in our hip joints. Okay, so exhaling, moving your hips forward, thrusting forward, and inhaling back, creating space. Exhaling another 2 in this direction. Last one. Good. Neutral spine, inhaling and exhaling. Vortex in the opposite direction. Now, if you want to emphasize the movement, you're welcome to do so. Another 2. And last one. Good. And inhale, neutral spine. Let's come into Balasana. So separate your knees, your mats with distance. Have a seat on your heels. If you'd like to create some space in between your glutes and your heels, you can do so by using a pillow. Extend your arms forward and rest your forehead. We're going to elongate our obliques in Balasana. So you're going to inhale, walk your hands forward, sit your coccyx bone back. Exhale, create some more space. Inhaling, bring your right hand to the right, your left hand on your right hand, and try to keep your left hip towards the ground, towards your heel, while you breathe space into the left side of your body. One more breath here. Good. Inhaling, come back to center. Walk your hands forward. Exhaling, coccyx bone back. Inhaling, walk your hands to the left, your left hand to the left, your right hand on top of your left. Again, attention to your alignment. Try to keep your right hip down and your right shoulder in line with your left. Another breath here. Breathe space. Good. Inhale, back to center. And exhale. Inhaling, raise your gaze, come up onto all fours. And we're going to create more space in between our knees and our hands. And we're going to do that round of vortexes that we did, but creating more space. So moving forward, bringing your body's weight into your hands, right? Almost as if you're in Urdhva Mukha, Svanasana, upward facing dog. Okay, but not quite so emphasized as Urdhva Mukha. So you're just going to create this vortex. This time your shoulders are moving, right? So we're going to go almost as if we're into Balasana when we move back. So inhaling forward and exhaling back. Another 2, inhaling and exhaling. And last one, inhale and exhale. Good. We'll exhale into Balasana. Inhaling, opposite direction. Forward and exhale and back. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more. In. And exhale into Balasana, child's pose. Inhaling, come up to all fours. Come into Bhujangasana, Cobra. And exhaling. Come all the way down. Rest your forehead to the ground. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. So we're going to come up to our forearms and just do a little bit of an arch here. Open up our heart. Strengthen the muscles in our thoracic spine. And when we're in this position here, we want to, almost as if we're like sliding our hands back. I mean, they don't necessarily slide, but it's that intention, right? So when we slide our forearms back, we essentially are uniting our scapula here. Our glutes are relaxed, they're not engaged, okay? They're nicely relaxed, and I'm just shifting my weight forward, right? By sliding my hand back, and we're going to elongate our chin. Another breath. And release. Rest your forehead, your hands on either side of your chest. Okay. Your feet are in hammer position. Engage your legs, engage your core. Come up to plank, inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Start to pedal your heels. Come up onto your tippy toes, bending your knees. Try to keep, again, your movement isolated in your knees and in your soles, okay? Don't move your hips just yet. Let's just try to isolate our movement. Try to really create space in the soles of our feet. You know, our feet are usually quite bound in sneakers. So it's nice to create this space in our soles of our feet when we're shoeless. Another two here. Good. Now come up on either foot here on both feet. Your heels are raised. And just breathe space into your latissimus dorsi. Good. One more breath here. And release. Two more breaths here in Adho Mukha. One last one. Good. Heels up and come down onto our knees. Now that our shoulders are just slightly warmed up, inhaling, right arm up. Gaze past your right shoulder. And exhaling, bring your right arm underneath your left, resting the outside of your hand on the ground, and come down to your right shoulder, okay? Your right shoulder should be sort of in between the space in your knees, but obviously in the front here. Extend your left arm and bring attention to the alignment in your hips, okay? We want to feel that twist, so we want to make sure that our hips are not loosening up, they're aligned. If I were to just let my hips go, they would follow the line of my body. But I want to keep that alignment and gaze past my left shoulder. Really feel that twist in your spine. Another breath here. Good. Come back to center, left hand on the ground. Open up. And exhale, right hand down. The same with the left. So I didn't mention this before, but our knees are hips width distance, okay? And the necks of our feet are resting on the ground. Inhale, open your left shoulder. Gaze past your left shoulder. And exhaling, left arm underneath your right. Rest the outside of your left hand, your left shoulder, resting on the ground. Rest your left temple. Extend your right arm. Align your hips and gaze past your right shoulder. 2 breaths here. And last one. Good. Come back up. Right hand down. Inhale. Left arm up. And release. Good. Bring your hands forward. Come into Bhujangasana. So coming into Bhujangasana, let's sort of bring our shoulders up and back, uniting our scapula. Elongate your chin. And exhale. Come back down, resting your forehead. Feet, hammer position. Engage your legs, engage your core. Come up to plank. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. We're going to do another round of just coming into our tippy toes. This time we'll bend our knees, rest our chest on our thighs. If you'd like, you can also come up for a more challenging posture. You can come up to your fingertips. Another 2 breaths here. Last one. Come up to your tippy toes. And release. Rest your palms. Heels down. Another 3 breaths here. Last one. Good. Rest your knees onto the ground. Excellent. And have a seat on your heels. Let's just stay here and observe for 2 breaths. Noticing our heartbeat, the blood rushing into our extremities, into our arms, our hands. I'm up to our knees here, and I'm going to turn towards you so you can see what's happening, right? So we'll do a variation of Parigasana. So I'll extend my right leg. My heel is in line with my left knee, right? And I'll rest the outside of my right hand on my right thigh, just on my knee here actually. Inhaling, my left arm extends past my head. And exhaling, I'm going to arch to my right. Okay? My right foot is engaged. So Palabandha, my intention is to keep my plantar, my sole onto the ground. I'm going to open up my left shoulder. Okay? Another inhale here. And exhale deeper into the pose. Inhale, come up. Good. Rest your right knee next to your left. Feel that space on the left side of your body. We're going to do the same with our right. Okay? So extend your left leg. Point your left foot. My heel is in line with my right knee. Modified Parigasana. Resting the outside of my left hand on my left leg. Inhaling. Creating space and exhaling. Arching to my left. Slowly. We have 2 more breaths here. Gaze past your right shoulder. Create space. One last breath. Good. And come up to center. Left knee next to right. And take a seat. Okay, we'll come into an Ustrasana, so a camel pose. Okay, our knees are hips width distance. In Ustrasana, I like to keep the necks of my feet resting, but for those of you who have this position a little less accessible, I would suggest bringing your feet in hammer position, okay? So I'm going to rest the necks of my feet down, inhaling, and on my exhale, I'm going to rest my right hand on my right heel and my left hand on my left. And I'm going to bring my hips just above my knees here, right? I don't want you to overextend, but just keep your hips on the same line with your knees, okay? And you're going to open your chest, unite your scapula, and elongate your chin back. Another breath. Good. And come up, inhaling. One last breath. Good. One more round. Inhale, extend your arms and go down with your left. Left hand first. Right hand follows. Push with your chin. And come up. Good. And let's take a seat. Just observe. Excellent. We'll do the counter position. Okay. So we're going to rest our forehead, all right, in front of our knees. So you can rest the top of your head on the mat. And bring your knees just to where our eye sockets are. Okay, so my eye sockets are where my knees are, so where the rotula is. Okay, my hands are on my soles of my feet. So on my inhale, I'm going to raise my hips up and use my hands as anchors so as to open the space between my scapula. Another 2 breaths. Last one. And excellent. Rest our glutes on our heels and come into child's pose. In this modified child's pose, we'll keep our knees close together and we'll rest our arms on the mat behind us on either side of our tibia. Good. We'll do one more round of this. So bring your hands to your feet. Okay. Rest the top of your head onto the mat and bring your hips up. Inhale. Breathe space. And release. Back to Balasana. And rest your forehead on the ground. And let's come out of the position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come up and just observe. Excellent. Let's come to a seated position. You can either bring yourself to the left or to the right, or you can cross your ankles, right? So if you're bringing yourself to one side, it's a little bit easier. Okay, you can swing your legs forward. Right? And we'll come into Dandasana. Our legs are extended, our heels are raised off the ground, just to engage your legs. Inhaling, bring your arms up. 3, 2, bring your shoulders or your biceps in line with your ears, and 1. And release. Come into Paschimottanasana, so fold forward. Inhaling, bring your gaze towards your big toes, and exhaling, fold forward. If your spine is curved and flexed, I would recommend that you bend your knees and just rest your chest on your thighs, on your quadriceps, and you could just slowly bring your heels forward. Another breath. And release. Come up to sitting. Good. Bring our feet towards our glutes so our knees are bent. Okay, and we're going to come into a modified Purvottanasana. So our hands are pointing forward. You can also try pointing your hands backwards. It's a different sensation. So inhaling, thrust your hips upward and let your head rest. 2 more breaths. Last one. And release. Good. Going to shift our hips forward and come to a lying down position. Palms are resting upwards. Knees are bent. Bring your feet just to the mat's width distance and let your knees fall to the center. And just feel the weightlessness of your body. Resting against the ground. Good. Your feet are hips width distance. We'll come into a small bridge. So I'm going to look to touch my heels with my middle finger and walk your feet just slightly forward, okay? So that there's a little bit of a gap between your middle finger and your heels. Bring your hips upwards, come onto our shoulders, cross our hands, our forearms are resting on the ground, and just breathe here. Last one. Now we'll evolve into a modified small bridge, okay, where I bring my palms resting on my sacrum, okay, and my hands are pointing outwards. My thumbs on either side of my spine, right at the base of my paravertebral muscles, and I'm just resting my hips onto my hands. If you would like, you can also extend your legs for a more intense posture, resting the palms, soles of your feet. Keep your neck open. One last breath. Good. If you extended your legs, bring your feet back and release. Rest your hands to the ground. Your feet match with distance. Let your knees fall to the center. Good. Extend your left leg. Bring your knee to your chest and hug your leg. You can bring it to your chest and then let it slide towards your shoulder. Really keep that left leg engaged. You want to make sure that our left hip is resting on the ground. Good. Extend your right. Exhaling your left knee to your chest and slide it towards your shoulder. One last breath. Good. And release. Inhaling, extend your arms over your head. Exhaling, bring both of your knees to your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. Hug your legs. And then rest your head to the ground. Okay? Your head is rested to the ground. Your chin is close to your chest so as to extend the cervical area of your spine, creating space. And try to rest your coccyx bone onto the ground. It's a challenge. Keeping your coccyx bone down, extending your spine, and keeping your hips open. Another breath here. Good. And release your legs. Resting the soles of your feet. We're going to bring our hips to the left about a foot and our knees to the right. Bring your right hand on your left knee and extend your left arm and gaze to the left. Another breath. Good. Unwind. Bring your knees up, back to center. Hips to the right, knees to the left. Look to see that your knees are aligned and one on top of the other. Rest your left hand using it as an anchor on your right knee. And extend your right arm, gazing towards the right. Breathe space in your spine. One last breath. Good. And release. Unwind. And come into Savasana. Extend your legs, palms facing upwards. And just let your body rest onto the ground. A natural breath in and out of your nose. Close your eyes. And feel the body's weight lift with each and every breath. Feel your heart beat against the ground, pulsating throughout your limbs, your feet and your legs, your hands, through your arms. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth and sigh. Inhaling. One more. Inhale. Deep breath in. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Inhaling, extend your arms past your head. Exhaling, happy baby. Grab the soles of your feet from inside of your legs, your hands on the outside of your feet, and just try to bring your knees towards the ground. Good. And release. Accompany your knees to the left or to the right. And come up. to a seated position. Cross your legs and observe the space within. Thank you. I wish you a pleasant day.